On a dark August night in 2025, the skies over southern Russia carried more than just storm clouds. 6 Ukrainian UJ-26 Beaver drones crossed the border, threading through one of the most heavily defended airspaces on Earth. Their target? A 38-car military train packed with enough rockets, artillery shells, and diesel fuel to supply an entire front. What followed was a mission of precision, deception, and daring that stunned the Russian military and sent shockwaves across the global stage. The mission begins. At night, 3 drones surged north across the Donbass border, while another 3 swung south, hugging the Severki Donets River Valley. Each was designed to outsmart Russia's formidable electronic warfare. The moment they entered enemy territory, GPS signals vanished. Screens went black. For most drones, this would mean instant failure. But these weren't ordinary machines. The UJ-26 had been upgraded with frequency-hopping communications, switching channels 1,000 times per second, leaving Russia's repellent one jamming systems blind and frustrated. The first hurdle was the Orlovski Power Substation. Ukrainian intelligence had marked a 330 kilovolt transformer there as the beating heart of the region's air defenses. Knock it out, and radar sites, Pantsir systems, and command posts would flicker into darkness. Miss and the drones would be torn apart by Soviet-era Zu-23 anti-aircraft guns. For Ukraine, it was a gamble worth taking. Breaking through defenses. As the northern formation approached Orlovski, they were immediately challenged by tracer fire from Zu-23s. These 23mm cannons, firing 2,000 rounds per minute, were deadly against slow-moving drones. To counter, one Beaver climbed high, deliberately exposing itself. The gunners locked on, pouring fire into the sky. Meanwhile, 2 other drones skimmed low, slipping beneath their barrels. In the chaos, one drone performed a barrel roll mid-flight, confusing the gunner's predictive aim. Within seconds, all 3 converged on the transformer. The first drone smashed into the base, rupturing cooling systems. The second dove through the roof, igniting a fireball. The third hit the control cabinet, preventing any chance of isolating the damage. The result was catastrophic. 330,000 volts arced through the substation, sparking a cascading blackout. For the next 20 minutes, radar stations went dark, command screens rebooted, and Russian operators were left blind. The door to Salsk railway station had been forced wide open. The southern group's gamble. While Orlovski burned, the southern drones ghosted along the Severki Donets, invisible under the radar horizon. Terrain masking flying just meters above the water and hugging embankments kept them hidden from S-300s and Tor M2 batteries waiting on higher ground. It was a dangerous path, 1 kilometer too far off course, and detection was guaranteed. But the Ukrainian pilots knew the terrain, having studied satellite imagery and radar gaps for weeks. At precisely 2:33 a.m., the southern drones approached Salsk. Their timing was surgical. Ukrainian intelligence had learned the Pantsir crew at the station switched shifts at that very moment, leaving them distracted in a 10-minute handover. Worse for the Russians, the blackout from Orlovski had knocked out their radar feeds, forcing crews to rely on degraded thermal optics. What was meant to be a fortress was now a blind fortress. The clash at Salsk, the Pantsir crew managed to launch a single 57E6 missile, but without radar guidance, the weapon flew wide, detonating harmlessly in the rain. The drones scattered using a classic evasion tactic. One climbed, one dove, one held course. The gunner focused on the climbing target, allowing the others to slip behind warehouses and regroup. By the time the crew tried to ready another missile, their backup batteries had drained to critical levels. The most advanced Russian air defense system in the region had been reduced to silence. The drones closed in, converging on the railway junction from 3 compass points. No radio chatter betrayed their plan. Instead, synchronized clocks on board ensured they struck within seconds of each other. Through their infrared sensors, the Ukrainian pilots saw the prize laid out before them. A 38-car train, loaded with rockets, shells, and fuel cars glowing bright with thermal energy. The strike. The first drone dove at the locomotive, its shape charge slicing through the engine block. The train lurched, then froze, trapping all 38 cars on the tracks. The second drone targeted a fuel tanker 3 cars back, deliberately chosen because it sat upwind of the ammunition cars. The shaped charge ruptured the steel tank, releasing 60,000 liters of diesel that quickly ignited into a spreading inferno beneath the train. Flames rolled like liquid fire, creeping toward the ammunition. The third drone struck the center of the train, slamming into a car stacked with 152mm artillery shells. The blast cracked the reinforced walls, but more importantly, it ignited a sympathetic chain reaction. As the fuel-fed flames reached the ammunition cars, one after another began to erupt. Shells cooked off, rockets streaked into the night sky, and secondary explosions thundered for miles. Within moments, the railway station became an apocalyptic scene of fire and shockwaves. Aftermath, at exactly 2:41 a.m., the final explosion ripped through the center of the station, setting off a chain reaction that lit up the night sky. A massive plume of smoke, more than a kilometer wide, rose so high it could be tracked from space. The blast was so powerful that even residents in nearby towns, miles away from the strike zone, felt the tremors and captured cell phone footage of the inferno. Despite Russian officials downplaying the damage, claiming only minor losses involving 2 fuel tanks and a locomotive, the scale of destruction told its own story. Ukraine had delivered a crippling blow, wiping out thousands of rockets, hundreds of tons of artillery shells, and striking at the very heart of Russia's logistics network. The Russian Ministry of Defense moved quickly to control the narrative, insisting that their air defenses had intercepted 22 drones during the night. Yet evidence from Ukrainian military releases and countless independent live streams painted a different picture. The truth was stark. Only 3 drones had made it through, but that was all it took. In modern warfare, precision mattered more than numbers, and those 3 drones were enough to set off secondary explosions that multiplied the damage beyond what any single strike could achieve. This event was more than just a tactical victory, it was psychological warfare at its peak. By showing that a handful of drones could outmaneuver Russia's layered air defenses and devastate a key supply hub, Ukraine sent a message that resonated far beyond the battlefield. Every destroyed rocket, every burned shell, and every crippled rail car weakened Russia's ability to sustain operations on the front lines. The aftermath of this strike wasn't just measured in physical losses, but also in the shock it delivered to Russia's sense of control and to the international community watching the war unfold in real time. Strategic implications. This was more than a tactical win. The Salsk strike proved that no target inside Russia is untouchable. Advanced air defense systems, electronic warfare, and fortified logistics hubs could all be penetrated by cheap, agile drones armed with smart planning and relentless operators. The psychological impact on Russia was as significant as the physical losses. Every train, every substation, and every convoy was now a potential target. The strike also demonstrated the importance of information dominance. The imagery, thermal footage, and timestamps collected during the mission became as valuable as the explosions themselves. Ukraine didn't just destroy a train, they won the narrative, proving their reach, ingenuity, and precision on the world stage. The strike on the Salsk railway station will be remembered as one of the boldest drone operations of the war. What began as a desperate gamble turned into a masterclass in modern warfare, where technology, planning, and psychology matter as much as firepower. 3 drones changed the course of a night, and perhaps the momentum of a conflict. Ukraine sent a message that will echo far beyond the battlefield. No matter the defenses, no matter the distance, the cost of aggression will be paid. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more detailed analysis of modern conflicts in the evolving face of warfare.